in for a very important episode. We today are going to discuss a lot of really great topics. Before we get into so many intellectual things, I just wanted to personally take this time to call out my cute little sweatshirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, I love the Busy Brunching.
Don't I look cute?
You do. Absolutely.
I am wearing my Busy Brunching sweatshirt today. Oh yeah, he's picking up the hat if you're joining us on video. We also have my Busy Brunching baseball hat. If you're new here, this was my very first line of merchandise that came out when I was a junior in college. Oh, that's actually a good idea. He's taking the baseball hat to cover our box. That's perfect. Yeah. Really showcase some of the products. So Busy Brunching was our first line of merchandise, and it holds such a special place in all of our hearts. And it's a great sweatshirt for any time of the year, but especially these deep months in winter.
We brunched today.
We what?
We brunched today.
You guys did brunch today.
Yeah.
Yes. I was not there. I didn't get the memo. But we're always brunching.
Yeah.
And this is a great loungewear piece. It comes in two colors, white, black. I'm wearing a size small. And I actually layered a little tissue paper turtleneck from J. Crew underneath it. I think that wearing like a t-shirt or a turtleneck under your sweatshirt really elevates it. And I kind of layered some necklaces. I don't know if you can see what's
cute.
going on here today. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I just wanted to shout that out, and it's available for purchase on my website. We're actually kind of coordinating. Are you in Peter Millar today?
I'm in Peter. I was going to call
that looks lovely. So today we are going to go over a lot of really wonderful topics, but we're going to begin with our bows and lows. And since we haven't heard from you in a bit, these can be broad, these can be small, whatever your bow and your low is. Since you're the guest, I'm going to let you start off.
Well, I can reach back a little bit, right? Because
you can go wherever you want for this.
I think my bow was traveling to Ireland with everybody.
I think that was a collective bow.
That was great.
It really was.
I enjoyed all the family time and the trip and just being together and going to see Ireland again.
Yes.
I thought it was great.
Yes,
yeah.
It really was. And it was a trip to remember. It was very memorable. And it feels like, it has been a few weeks, but it feels like it was a while ago. Like we've gotten back into the routine of it, but it was a really just a great way to start the year.
Yeah.
And have some wonderful family time and, be in Ireland.
Yeah.
Your homeland.
Whether we were playing chess by the fire, that was fun.
Yes.
The bagpipe guy on New Year's Eve was incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, the falconry in the rain.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They were just very good family memories that you have to work at, I think, as a group to keep those going. Mom gets all the credit because Mom really worked at that to make sure our 30th wedding anniversary wasn't just for us. It was all for the whole family.
And we were so honored to be included, and hard not to have a wonderful time when you're at a castle, frankly. Yes, it was a lot of effort and work, but we were at a beautiful setting. So it really made it so easy to have a relaxing week and a half. And it was a great spot.
Right. Got to go see where my grandparents were from.
We did. We got to see where your grandparents are from. And when we were little in 2009, we were in Ireland. So a lot of these memories and sites that we revisited were kind of coming back to all of us, at least for me.
Right.
I don't know if Elizabeth remembered it too much, but when we went to the cemetery and the little pub, and I remembered the hotel. So it was good.
That cemetery was crazy.
It was. Yes. It had every tombstone had our last name on it.
It was amazing. Every derivative of our name, Michael and Tom and all these names, it was crazy.
Yeah. And it was actually beautiful because it was right on the water.
Yeah.
So
the cemetery was beautiful.
It was a beautiful setting. And that was a really fun day as well. We kind of went off we left the castle and we had an excursion.
Yeah.
And it was a nice mix of everything. So Ireland is your bow, and do you have a low? I hate to head on a negative, but
yeah, I think my low might have been Thursday's snowstorm. I probably shouldn't have gotten in the car and driven.
I forgot you did that. If you are, in the Midwest, or really, I feel like everyone has been hit with some sort of winter weather.
It was bad. I shouldn't have.
We had a lot of snow dumped on us Thursday. Wednesday evening, woke up Thursday, felt like we were in a snow globe, and I'm sorry, Friday. This was Friday.
It was Friday. I'm sorry, it was Friday.
Because we got back from Charleston on Thursday.
You're right.
So Friday, we really hunkered down and had a proper snow day. But some of us in the house decided that it would, business as usual, and we're just going to leave.
Well, I had a doctor's appointment that I thought, hey, what's the big deal? I can make it. But boy, the more I drove. Maybe my low was when you guys were gone, though. That was your bow.
Oh, yes.
I don't like when you guys leave.
No, and who does, really? Honestly, it is, it would be my low as well if I left.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Low was driving in the snow for a doctor's appointment that I probably should have rescheduled.
Well, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like we don't get bad weather
I
a
know.
lot. So I would say that I don't really have much of a low. My closet is a wreck right now. And I just need to take a moment to have a little bit of a winter refresh. So that's my low, but I think I'm going to do that later today. Clean out, just organize my sweaters. Winter clothes in general just take up more room. So I think that that's why I'm feeling like the walls in my closet are kind of closing in. I would say that my bow is mom decorated for Valentine's Day, which is so adorable. So it feels like a little pink retreat in the dining room currently. And if you're joining us on video, the background, she has these gorgeous little candles and she tied some red and pink bows on the candlesticks. And we have some wreaths that are I think are mostly from Amazon. So just great little pieces to incorporate into the house. And our dining room is mostly white, so everything always looks good in here, no matter what the holiday or decor is. So I really like, and we have the fire going. It's just overall a very cozy vibe. So those are my bows and lows. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the topic of today, which is discussing goals and specifically your goals, maybe more tips and suggestions for people who might feel overwhelmed with how to tackle the year. So your suggestions on how to organize and set goals and plan goals, because I know for everyone it could be different, but it's also really helpful to listen to some people and learn from what they do. And I know you just have really great suggestions and you are very serious about your goal setting. So I see that you have your legal pad in your notebook and your Mont Blanc pen and a few notes. So why don't we just start with that, and then from there we can kind of jump into some other subtopics.
Sure. So should we just jump right into the goal setting, or what do you want to do?
I would jump into the goal setting, and then if you could share with us how you go about your goal setting specifically for this year, and maybe other things in the past that you've done that have worked, but how you've kind of changed, because I know we were talking about this prior.
I would say that this year and last year, I decided I would write fewer goals, and they would be much more broad in nature. Mm-hmm. And then that wouldn't overwhelm me if I didn't hit those goals. Because I think sometimes if you write too many goals and you don't hit them, then all of a sudden you think you're a failure. So I think this year I've got 4 goals.
Okay.
And my goal with those 4 goals is to make them to apply to both my personal life, family life, professional life, and then inside of those worlds, maybe I have more specific goals.
So keeping them broad, keeping them able to remember on a daily basis.
Right.
And because I know you were talking about this before, that in past years you would maybe write like 20 goals.
Right.
And I mean, that's kind of hard to remember and check in with yourself each month. So maybe having a little bit more of like a theme and a mission statement kind of for the year. I mean, I know with you, when we sat down when we were in Ireland and kind of talked about my goals for the year, you had 2 things that you said to me that if I followed for the year would really change my life and help me. And I think about those daily now, and it's a lot easier to remember because with those 2 goals, obviously so many things fall underneath it. So have you found success this past year? Because I know you did the broad, sorry, I'm talking in circles, the broad goals last year, and you feel like you found success.
I think I did. Yeah. And I always enjoy writing the goals. It's been fun as a family to write goals every year.
Yes.
When you guys were little kids, you'd write them, and we enjoyed that. So I think we're good as a family at writing goals. We have been doing it for a long time, and it's evolved. So, yeah, I think it's easier to have, like you said, maybe 2 goals. Now that, as you say that, I wish I had 2 goals.
I mean, I think my life is a little simpler right now than you are. We're at a different stage in life. So my 2 goals are big goals, and a lot falls underneath them.
Right.
So would you be able to share what one of your broader goals are?
Yeah, I think I'm actually
going to. Just as an example.
I think I'm going to winnow down the 4 to 2 based on this conversation now that I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 1 goal, and this is really probably more due to Mom. She has a phrase that she's constantly saying, give it a minute. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading a book called Noise.
Okay.
And Noise is a book by 3 professors at the University of Chicago. Okay. And they're really, really smart guys. A great book. But in it, they talk about how if you slow down your thinking, you actually use a different part of your brain.
Okay.
And I gave you this example at dinner a couple days ago. If you are running in a marathon,
yes, and
you pass the person who's in second place, what place are you in? A lot of people will immediately say first. Mm-hmm. But as we know, you're actually in second because you just passed the person in second. if you wait a moment, you actually engage a different part of your brain. You answered it right.
I did.
You
yes.
did. Yeah, so did Mom. So did Elizabeth. And if you think about that same question for a day, you tend to answer it as a group. People tend to answer it more correctly than incorrectly.
Okay.
So giving it a minute.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It's actually Mom's phrase, give it a minute. They don't say that in the book.
Yes,
the book
they should, because that just makes
should.
a lot more sense.
The book should be called Give It a Minute.
Yes, that's a really great title for a book.
Instead, the book is called Noise. But Give It a Minute's a better one. So I think giving it a minute on many different levels, especially for me, because I think I tend to move too quickly.
You do move very fast.
I do.
Which has benefits as well. I don't think that should be something that's completely, because I also feel like Mom is a very efficient person as well and has great time management skills, as do you. I think that's a different category, though, than what we're talking about. Maybe like with decision making or reactiveness.
Yeah, I think it's in everything, whether it's decision making, whether it's how you react, in anything. I was on a call a couple days ago and someone was saying something that I didn't agree with. And rather than jump in, I thought for a minute and I said, I think that's a really good idea, but I think maybe what about this?
Yeah.
And they appreciated it. They later told me, thank you for saying that was a really good idea.
Oh my gosh.
That's what they heard.
Wow.
Was, hey, that's a really good idea.
Yes.
And that small little benefit, they say that 92% of what you hear is how somebody makes you feel. So making someone feel good is a great way to get them to listen to you.
I like that.
Yeah. So I was able to be more thoughtful in the response versus just jumping in with my idea.
Absolutely.
Hey, Emily, that's a great idea, but what do you think about this?
Yes.
Now all of a sudden you feel good.
Totally.
I think I too often tend to think that argument is a way to get to an answer.
Yes.
Right? So I don't see it as argumentative.
Right.
I actually just see it as like the best idea wins out. As I get older, I realize that might be kind of rude.
You're just arguing. Like we all just know you're literally just arguing.
I don't think it can hurt to give it a minute.
I love this. I think it's a great thing for all of us to remember.
We'll get some hats and shirts and pens made.
Yeah, suddenly I have a whole new line of merch.
Yeah, give it a minute.
Give it a minute. I think it's an easy thing to remember in the heat of the moment, or if you need to make a decision, give it a minute. So, okay, what else do you have on your list?
So I'm shrinking. So give it a minute. And then the other one is don't sweat the small stuff.
Okay.
And avoid unnecessary distractions. If someone who works with me is doing something, maybe they're doing it their way. Don't try to get into their way with what they're doing. Don't worry about smaller stuff that maybe you can't control.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I think we all can also agree with that. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah. So, because sometimes I think I get too involved in the details.
Yeah.
Too involved in stuff that maybe I'm not good at or I don't really know much about.
You can't do it all.
No.
We all know this. You cannot do it all. And it's good to let loose of control, let go of control a little bit. I like that. So give it a minute. Don't sweat the small stuff. What else?
So those are now officially my 2 new goals.
Oh,
now
we have pivoted.
Before the podcast began. I had a few others.
But what were those? Just share, because
sure.
You had 4.
Well, yeah. Might have 5. But
actually, I had 20. I'm sorry. Oh my God,
with
I
bullet
forgot.
points below.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a point of writing down in pen, which I used to always do, and then so much has become electronic. But the act of writing the to-do list, writing what you're doing for the day or for the week.
Absolutely.
It engages. I mean, I remember reading an article that says if you write in cursive, that you engage a different part of your brain.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So people who write in cursive are actually doing something. So it's productively good for you. It allows for you to think differently. And then writing in cursive is something that I did it here, but so I'm trying to write down my to-do list every week.
Mom and I were talking about this in our kind of goal setting New Year episode, kind of about how we are writing everything in person, and we're really pen to paper, and how I love to make a list. I do think it's incredibly helpful, and I think you absorb it a lot better. At least I absorb it a lot better. So, but I feel like you always kind of write stuff down.
I do. I feel like in the past maybe 6 or 12 months I've gotten away from it, and I'm using more electronic to-do lists. But typically on Sunday or Monday morning, I would write it down.
Okay.
And then I'd go over it with the team, and I really enjoy pens.
Yes.
And I really enjoy writing stuff down. So I feel like I'm going back to something that maybe I glossed over in 2023.
I know. Well, you know what I do? I will say growing up, you were always making lists and writing and being Professor Terry. And so I think that maybe in recent months, I haven't seen that as much.
So I'm trying to go back to that.
Do you like carrying around your legal pad? Have you been doing that more?
I do. I will say that the paper we had in Ireland,
Yes.
which was linen at Ashford Castle.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We digress for one moment, but if you've never written on linen paper, it is an experience. It's unbelievable. And if you get linen paper and an ink pen, it's out of this world.
I mean, what in the Downton Abbey is going on?
I don't know. I mean, I wish I had linen paper. You could see why the monks would enjoy writing so much.
Well, we need to get you some linen paper. I feel like that's a really easy thing for you. You could keep it out on your desk at work.
I don't know where you get linen paper.
Order it? Amazon?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, the producer is raising her hand. Yes. Do you have a note for the show?
Yeah. Oh,
Mom
my.
just said she has some upstairs. I'm not surprised.
You have real linen paper?
She's going upstairs. The queen of stationery. I'm sure I'm not surprised that she has some linen paper.
I can't tell you. So the Greenbrier had linen paper, but Ashford Castle had like medieval.
Yes.
It was thicker bond paper. And when you wrote, there was a lot of friction.
Okay.
Which is great for an ink pen.
Yes.
I mean, it was out of this world. And I just loved it. So
well, you have two different pens right there. So you have
This is a ballpoint.
Uh-huh.
And then this is an ink pen that, if you're not careful, gets all over you.
It does get all over you, but it's very chic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The average person doesn't get it all over them.
No, I was going to say, I feel like you always... Did you get it on your hand?
I did not. But
Okay, I was surprised. My image
of
of you is just making lists and then coming back with like hands that are covered in ink. Like, oh, you were writing.
Yeah, no, this is why I can't have nice things. But yeah,
she scurried back down the stairs. What do you have to share with us?
Fine linen
Fine
paper.
linen paper. Oh my gosh.
Why do you have fine linen paper?
Because she has everything.
24-pound, watermarked, 100 sheets, 25% cotton.
Where'd you get it, Mom?
Oh my! And like you can.
I think it's just like office mat.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks like you've had it for.
Valentine's Day.
Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
I bet they can.
Yeah, I mean that is real. Like you can see why the monks would enjoy writing. I'm not even sure if they were probably writing on vellum, not on linen.
My present to you.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We bought it and we're surprising you right now.
Well, look at this. So
Kidding.
so the podcast has changed not only my goals, but the way I am implementing my goals. I now have fine linen paper.
You have a lot of it too. How many sheets are in there?
I don't know. But
Take that to work.
This says 100 sheets, and
I mean,
not many have been used.
We just launched you for a long time writing
Yeah.
on linen.
Writing on to-do list on linen paper is now my goal.
And I think that really should be everyone's goal this
No
year.
question.
is
And then write it
why
with an
are we
ink.
not writing on linen paper?
I don't know.
Why don't people talk about linen paper more? I never hear that conversation being brought up.
I went to the front desk so often at Ashford Castle. Like the third or fourth time, the guy's like, "What are you doing?"
To get more linen paper?
I was just hoarding linen paper.
Stop, that's so funny. Meanwhile, your wife had stacks of it upstairs.
I know. It was funny.
I wonder if like,
unbelievable.
Mom, what are the wedding invitations like made out of? They wouldn't be printed on linen.
This is like almost like a resume paper.
Oh, she just said it's more like a resume paper.
Yeah, that's right.
You should put like another. I follow this woman on TikTok and she comes up with like a fun goal.
Yeah.
And I think last year was just to wear more color. And I've been trying to come up with like my fun goal. But your fun goal should be to like try a bunch of different stationery papers and stuff. And
No
like,
question.
With your lists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get you some. Like, I wonder if you could get a linen legal pad.
Right.
So you could just rip off the sheets.
Wouldn't that be? I wouldn't. You know what? That seems.
But you don't want to rip them?
Oh, that seems so violent. With
Maybe
linen.
if they were what is that called?
I don't know. Right.
Pre-torn, yeah.
But I do like the idea of linen lined.
Linen lined. Yeah, that's unlined linen.
Right.
Yeah.
Soon we'll be with vellum
Oh, yeah.
doing calligraphy.
Yeah. Okay, let's not sweat the small stuff. You've gotten a little too bogged down with the linen, Terry. These things we need to refocus.
What's with the Gregorian chants?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, this is fun. So we've taken the 5, turned it into 2, but now we have the to-do list on linen.
Yeah. Right. Now we're implementing linen.
Right.
I'll link the exact paper too on my Bose & Company Instagram that we just shared.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. So, and then this is a specific goal, but Mom and I are really good about date nights and stuff like that. But I would like to have 12 field trips with Mom and or family.
Okay.
Things like going to lunch at the art museum,
Oh.
right? Something that's like a daytime activity,
Yes.
not a dinner, but something like that.
With more of an activity. We've always been heavy field trip people. We love a good weekend excursion, little
Yeah, like yesterday
Yeah, that was
was an excursion.
an excursion.
Right, something like that. But going something that is unexpected or unusual would be a goal.
Yeah. And maybe even just like, well, I mean, I always love being with you guys, but since I am always with you guys, you know, you could do like just two of you to the art museum and lunch, but
Yeah.
like also I'm kind of a pleasure. So, but no, I really like that idea. I also think that like planning something with a little bit more of like a purpose around it.
By the way, if
Like
I went,
yesterday when we needed
Yeah.
to go pick out some new clothes for you, you know, that was like kind of the purpose of the day. And then we had lunch and then we got coffee and then we saw your dad. Like it was a whole
right,
event.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I went to the art museum 12 times this year and had lunch
12 times. You want to go to the art museum 12 times?
once a month, no, I'm just that's not a goal.
Oh.
But I'm saying if that were all that we did, because I want to have one field trip a month.
Yes.
But if it were the art museum,
Yes.
I mean, I don't really go to the art museum much, and it's an amazing.
Well, we have an amazing art museum, and it's a great thing to do, especially like in the winter,
In the
January,
winter.
February,
Very,
March.
yeah.
It's perfect. They have a delicious restaurant as well.
Or going for a walk in the metro parks in the
Yes.
summertime, just going for rather because Mom and I walk.
Yes.
And it's hard to
power
keep
walk.
up with her because she basically runs when she walks.
Yes.
So, but what if we just were to walk?
I love
Meander.
it.
Yeah.
Meander. Yes. Walk
so-
with coffee around the neighborhood.
So, right. Yeah.
You were like, oh my gosh.
That's something like that. Something that doesn't necessarily have a goal,
Yes.
even though it is a goal to not have a goal. Yeah. So
So many things to keep track of.
so high strung. Right, I got it.
Okay, well, I really like that. I also feel like a lot of people listening could relate to doing a field trip with their partner.
Right.
12 once a month. That's very attainable.
Yeah, and obviously all the articles talk about how if you do something that is not organized, not specific in nature, free your brain up, it's better for you mentally, for your mental health, and it loosens things up and relaxes you. So going on a field trip, if you're me and you have to justify everything you do to be productive, it's actually productive to be unproductive.
It is productive to be okay. Let me just
Right.
absorb that for a second. Okay, it's productive to be unproductive. Yes, it is. Well, I just think that it's good to have breaks and like
Yes.
to have little escapes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about that. I'm all about the little field trips and the excursions.
Getting coffee.
Yes.
Those are the four. So those are the big picture goals. Although the one with Mom specifically probably is a very specific goal, but there was three that were broad in nature. So you'd asked me before about new habits. I didn't think I had any new habits, but of course I do. So
And what are they?
I recently, I think I've said this before, maybe not, but I take a lot of vitamins.
Yes, you do.
Probably too many, but I take a lot of vitamins. And I've started AG1. I'm not sure if I've said that about.
Always good to reiterate. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
I think you have, but if you're
think
new
I have
here,
too.
you haven't listened to his previous episodes.
Right, so I take AG1, and now in my AG1, because of Mom, she's added a bunch of seeds and things like that. So I take hemp seed, flax seed, chia seed, turmeric, collagen, and whey protein.
All in your AG1. Wow, what a party in your stomach right thing first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So those 6 that I add to the AG1, then I shake it up, and then I drink it right away. So I get up in the morning. I do, I have, that's the first thing I ingest.
So that is something new that you've implemented into your morning routine. Have you seen any direct effects
Yes.
from, what are those?
So-
I know you both talk about how you love it.
Yeah, I think that I have gotten sick less.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, I do think so because I usually get a sinus infection in November.
yes.
So I take a ton of vitamins and I take AG1. Something is working.
Yes.
I don't know what, but I'm vacuuming up as much as I possibly can.
Right.
And you know what? I think I have put on muscle. It's crazy. Yeah, I used
Well,
to,
you work out all the time.
I know, but I used to work out with an Apple Watch, which I lost. And I think I'm actually grateful that I lost it because as much as I love that Apple Watch, I feel like it stressed me out. And I would put it on and I would work out for an hour and I would try to keep my heart rate at a certain level.
Okay.
And I try to keep it at 135 or above.
Okay.
And if it fell below, I would quickly do something. So the goal was every other day when I worked out to work out to the point of complete exhaustion.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. And I did it. And I did it for all.
Complete exhaustion.
Yeah. I did it all during COVID. I did it. And then I lost my watch. And then I'm like, I'm starting to read that maybe I'm not right. And that people are working out slower.
Okay.
And maybe the weights are the same as I'm at or heavier. So now I've actually changed my routine to try to focus completely on form. And I'm certain my form was bad because I was all about speed and heart rate. And so now I'm slowing it down,
Okay.
focusing on form, and it's harder.
Well, I think that point is proven with Pilates because Pilates is a very slow workout.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, tiny muscles that you're working. And the women and men, but I'm just using women, for example, who partake in a lot of Pilates and are really good at it are absolutely ripped and in the best shape of their life.
I did Pilates yesterday by accident. My left hip is tight.
Uh-huh.
And I went online before you guys were in the shower, and I just did a 10-minute stretch that I found on YouTube. It was from a Pilates instructor, and it was some form of Pilates. I got to tell you, it was not easy.
There's so many different forms of Pilates. It is one of the hardest workouts. So to your point, I think slowing it down, I'm sure you have built more muscle because it's not, I don't know what the science behind that is, but I feel like that's what Pilates is.
I thought maybe I should do Pilates.
Oh, yeah.
Pilates uses the machine.
You can be on a reformer, but you could also be on a mat.
I was on a mat.
Well, yeah, you were home.
But I don't have a reformer.
Right.
Yeah, but I was on the mat, and this one was incredibly flexible. I am not at all flexible, and my left hip my whole body's tight. And I did 10 minutes, and I'm loud when I stretch because it hurts. But I'm thinking maybe I should do Pilates once a week or something.
I think it could have a really great benefit for to kind of mix in with your intense workouts as you do.
Yeah. Yoga or Pilates?
Pilates and yoga are different.
Yeah, they are.
Yes. Because yoga is more stretching, balance. Pilates, like if you're on a reformer, it's a workout.
I have a friend who does Pilates, and he said it got rid of his back problems.
I believe that.
Mom does yoga, and she says it's all about breathing. I am not good about that. I mean,
yes.
I'm yelling at the TV because it's hard when you're in a position. You got to hold it.
Yeah.
And
Very vocal.
And they're talking.
You
and
really have to look inward. And I feel like that's just, we can't get you to sit still for that long.
Yeah. And it's hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah. And it's slow.
Yes.
You know why? Because they're giving it a minute. Oh, look at that.
Back to that first goal.
Yeah.
I love how you tied that in.
Yeah. So
wonderful. So you've been implementing all those new supplements and AG1, and your morning shake is basically what it is. Yeah. And Mom and yourself, you both do it.
Yeah. And these are all her ideas. So the chia, flax, hemp, collagen, whey. She doesn't take turmeric. I take turmeric because it's good for you as a guy.
Okay.
Tastes terrible, by the way. I'm not sure how people.
But mixed in, can you even taste it?
Oh, it's all you taste.
Really?
It's all you taste.
Oh my gosh, people do like turmeric shots.
Yes, and they're small. I have decided I'm taking too much. Is it turmeric or turmeric?
This seems to be a theme for you.
Yeah.
You're like, you do it, and then you're like, wait a minute, I think I'm taking.
Wow.
Moderation could be another.
The first time I took a mound of a teaspoon. And then I'm looking at the back, and they're like, just sprinkle it on your latte.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, you could get a turmeric latte.
Yeah, well,
I've gotten that before.
I was doing far more than a sprinkle.
Yeah, you're like, well, they say a sprinkle, let me take a spoonful.
I almost threw up.
I believe it. It's like taking cinnamon or taking.
Yeah. So
it's sharp.
I think that I've done the AG1 and all those other supplements, and I think the combination of slowing down and focusing on form, which I'm telling no one. People who are listening to this are like, why did he go so fast? And why didn't he focus on form? Well, it took me. I needed to give it a minute. Yeah. So I'm there. So that has been a big change for me. That's number one. Mm-hmm. The other one is I need to focus better on my oral health. I know that sounds crazy.
I did not see that coming.
No.
Oral health.
I need to focus on, so I've read a lot of articles.
Tongue scraping, is that what you're going to say?
No, but you told me about this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tongue scraping.
No, I've not gotten to that. You and Elizabeth talked about.
I just see it a lot on socials.
Yeah. You think it's legit?
I believe so. I think that, well, for sure it helps with your breath. I don't know what the other benefits to it are.
Yeah. You guys were saying that it's good because it gets rid of bacteria.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, that seems like another. But, like, I don't know if it's not like it helps you sleep better or something. Maybe it does.
I don't know.
I don't think there's, like, a big benefit to it.
Yeah. So, no, I probably now should write that down. But I'm trying. I floss every night. I got the 2-minute little toothbrush. That's cool.
Right.
Do that in the morning and the night. And then floss every night. Now I'm flossing in the morning, and I have to use the water pick more. Because you read these articles.
The what?
Water pick.
What's that?
Water pick. I probably could just use the water pick and not floss, but a water pick is a high-pressure water stream that you shoot in between you. You never heard of water pick?
No.
Oh my
Am I
gosh.
supposed to?
Huh. I don't know. But water pick is a high pressure water stream that goes, you hold it like this, and then you go like that, and it shoots into between your teeth. And I've read all these articles recently about how the bacteria gets into your teeth when they're not healthy. So if you have periodontal disease, then all of a sudden it creeps in.
Okay.
And then those bacteria get into your heart or your body.
Oh, good Lord.
Right. It's the front door for disease.
Oral health is the front door for disease. That right there. Wow.
Yeah.
What a tagline.
So I am.
She just popped her head. My mom did over the couch, and she's laughing. Oral health is the doorway to disease.
Yeah. I mean, apparently that's what I'm learning. And so
This is the type of information. This is why you're brought onto the podcast, because you bring this level of knowledge.
Yeah. Well, it took me this long in my life to do it. So I'm now flossing twice a day. And I'm going to do water pick more. You're supposed to do it every day. And you probably could do water pick and not floss, but you know me.
Well, I need to immediately get myself a water pick because I feel like I'm already behind.
Well, your listeners are younger and probably in great health. Not a bad thing to start. But at my age,
It can't hurt. It seems like such a low, like it doesn't take that much time. Can you hear? What just happened? Hello?
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you know what? Flossing your teeth twice a day is something I should have been doing for years.
Great way to start.
Yeah. So
for everyone listening.
We got to do Pilates. We got to do that.
So much to do before we've even started our day.
Yeah, I got to add that. I mean, I got my steam. Listeners know that I do my steam.
We do. Yeah, we
3
love
times a
you.
week.
You love the steam.
Yep. Your phone and your headphones work in a steam. In case anybody cares.
Oh.
Yeah, because I can go in there and listen to.
I didn't honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't know because I don't steam.
I go into the steam, listen to a podcast.
How many podcasts a week do you listen to?
I don't know. It's funny. I'm listening to, I think, fewer podcasts more. Probably. I got yours every week.
Well, of course.
Right. I listen
obviously.
I listen to it being made, and then I listen to it when it's on. I get that right away. Periodically, the toast appears right on mine.
That's because we talk about it so much.
Yeah, I think I somehow subscribe to it.
I try not to listen to too many podcasts because I think it, like I need to stay in I want to be creative of myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be influenced by what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. So I just don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Listen, I listen to yours every week, of course. One year I did 1 book a week on
audio.
I'm trying to go back to that.
I mean, it's a form of a podcast, technically.
Yeah, but it's more thoughtful.
It totally. Well, yeah.
Right. It's a book.
It's a book. Yeah.
Right. So I put it on double speed.
Tape. Yeah.
You put it on double speed. You get in the steam.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could take headphones into steam, but everything's waterproof these days, so that makes sense.
They go like 30 feet underwater.
I mean, sometimes I bring my AirPods into the shower just to
no problem.
have a little party.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever.
Yeah. And I mean, look, if there's somebody else in the steam, I don't. But if I'm in there by myself, yes, I will have that on.
That's great. I just listen to music all the time. I feel like, but do you listen to music that much?
I do when I work out.
Okay, when you work out. Yeah, that would be really hard for me to work out with a podcast on or watching something. I couldn't do that.
No.
I mean, I'm a big music person at all times.
Yeah, if you've got good music that gets you jacked up, then you actually work out better.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
A little AC/DC live.
Good playlist. Yes. Okay, what else do you have? Did we hit everything?
No, and then this is another thing. Yeah, this is the last one.
No, please.
Another thing that I did a ton of, and then I feel like I slowed down in 2023, and this is simple, is to read the Wall Street Journal print edition.
Okay.
I really enjoy reading a newspaper. And like today, it's Sunday, and I read today's newspaper, just sitting right over there. And there's something about the paper edition that slows me down.
I think we're just so used to pulling it up on our phones or the iPad. It's a different experience. It's the same idea of pen to paper.
Yeah. So I'm trying to read the newspaper more.
But hard.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes with the linen, right? I mean, we love paper, and I feel like maybe I need to go back to that.
The newspaper.
Yeah. So I'm working at reading because you don't get distracted. I try not to wear my glasses when I read the newspaper when I probably should.
Is that to strengthen your eyes, or what's the deal with that? Just wear your glasses.
It's probably vanity, but I do think.
But you look cute in your glasses.
Yeah, I probably do.
I really like that one pair, the acrylic navy blue. It's super chic.
The ones that are actually prescription glasses.
Yeah, those look good on you. They fit your face. It's not like, you put your glasses on and we're like, oh my gosh, you look cute. So I don't think you should inconvenience yourself and have a more enjoyable reading experience.
Well, you can't tell when I'm done with my glasses on.
Yeah, no, we can't tell at a restaurant when you're zooming it up or you turn, the phone light on or you get every other word. No, nobody can tell.
I read an article
So
that said
funny.
something like 90% of people by the age of 45 need glasses. Maybe it's 95%.
And you just need reading glasses. Like,
I'm
it's
just-
not even like you need glasses for driving or, like you can see me right here. It's just in low lit places.
Right.
I feel like I would like glasses sometimes in a low lit place.
Yeah.
Why
Like
are the lights off in restaurants?
today-
And then
I
you make
agree
me
with that.
read.
Yeah. Or the fonts should be bigger on menus. Well, I don't understand why.
I agree with that too. The fonts should be bigger.
You're wiping out a lot of people who are getting annoyed. For people your age, don't care. Oh,
Also,
okay.
like when I'm tired, my eyes are in the dark. Like I can't see anything. Not
Yeah.
actually, but you got to wear your glasses more.
Today was a sunny day, so it was fine.
Did you sit by the window and
I
you
did.
read it and you can see better?
I can see perfectly fine.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when is it just like later in the evening if it's dark?
Yeah.
Or if it's the fonts
No,
really small?
I mean, so today was sunny, but when it became cloudy, like 3 seconds later, it might have been a little bit more challenging. A little bit.
You literally have glasses.
I'm competing with myself. I have no idea. And they're nice glasses. They're prescription. They've had them
Yeah, they're really cute. They
Had 'em for
honestly
9 years.
honestly, they kind of can pull looks together.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that should be something else to put on your list.
Give it a minute. Don't be vain.
Just put your glasses on. Like,
Yeah.
this
But I
is
think it's
straightforward.
a form of vanity. I also think that
Oh, do you think it's like a sign of weakness
Yes,
that you need to?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
nobody thinks that.
I do think, and I have no proof of this, I'm not an ophthalmologist, the more you use your glasses, I think the more you need your glasses.
I also think that on a man of your age, when I see a man with cute glasses or cool glasses on, to
Mm-hmm.
me, it's a very like warming. It's you're not you come off very approachable and
Disarming,
kind.
maybe?
Disarming. That's the word.
Yeah.
Like
That's
when
interesting because
we
it
were
was-
coming back from Charleston, there was a man behind us and he had these really cute tortoiseshell glasses on, and I'm just like, he could have been a jerk for all we know, but he looked like a very nice man.
Just because of his glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Professor Terry activated when you put your glasses on. But
Then I could get a jacket with elbow pads.
thank you so much, Terry, for coming on to your first podcast episode of 2024 onto Bose & Company. And we just really appreciate the wealth of information and for sharing your goals for 2024 and for inspiring others and kind of working backwards to figure out a good way to set your goals. And I implemented your template of just having 2 main goals to focus on. I think it's super productive. And we love your new morning routine habits and just overall listening and hearing from you today. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if anyone listening at home has any other specific topics for Terry, we'd love to have you back on and we can kind of hone in on these things. We have all year, another great year together for Bose & Company. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And remember that everything is in fact better
Better
with
with
a
a
bow.
bow.
Bye-bye now.